Welcome aboard. It is the Ahysen Nation. How are you? It is Tuesday, the 13th of almost in November.
We're close.
13th of July. Brian Doherty's with me today. Doherty like party.
That's right.
Brian's with WAFB. He's one of our sales managers, and he is also on the board of directors for the Baton Rouge Boat Club. We're going to talk everything today about boating. We also have a very special guest at the end of the half hour, and that's going to be Captain Sandy from Below Deck Mediterranean. Before we kind of get started, I want to get started with Brian here in a minute. We're going to talk all things boating, including different types of boats, and talk about the Baton Rouge Boat Club, what they do, how you might be able to get involved in all of that. But I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention a very, very special condolence to the Edwards family in memory of four-time Louisiana Governor Edwin Edwards, who passed away yesterday at the age of 93. So our condolences go out to his entire family, and we'll be praying for you guys as well as y'all make your way through this difficult time for sure. Some of you may not have heard of Coach Sandy. I think yeah, here we go. This is, well, that's her yacht. Coach Sandy's on Below Deck Mediterranean. It is on the Bravo channel, I believe. She's in season number 6 right now. So there she is. I said Coach Sandy, Captain Sandy. She's kind of like a coach, I guess. There she is. She'll be on later this half hour, so she'll be kind of continuing our discussion about boats and things like that. But right now, all things boating with Brian Doherty. How did you become a member of the boat club? And you were telling me yesterday this thing is old as 1951?
Yeah, it was established in 1951 here locally in Baton Rouge. As a matter of fact, Gerard Ruth was one of the founding members. So
Gerard Furniture.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, sure was. So it's a group of enthusiastic boaters that we get together once a month to have meetings, and usually once or twice a month we go on cruises, whether it be on the river, cruising around the river, or like this coming weekend, there's a big group that's going to Biloxi, to Horn Island. So it's just really avid boaters that we do a lot of fundraising, and it's something if you're into boating and want to meet some people that are also into the same activities as you, then I'd encourage you to become a member.
What's the membership criteria? Do you have to have a boat? I'm assuming you should.
Absolutely. You definitely have to have a boat. That's one of the big requirements to be in a boat club, is you have to own a boat.
Now, when you go to Biloxi this weekend, are you guys going to go in a boat or go there and...
So half will go in a boat, and the other half will go trailer their boats there and launch and go out to Horn Island, which is about 13 miles south of Biloxi.
How much fun!
It's a blast. It's a blast.
So I kind of interrupted you there. Requirements other than having a boat for the Baton Rouge Boat Club? Dues, I'm thinking?
There are dues. There's annual dues every year that covers basically any of the cookouts or gatherings that we go to, or shrimp boils or that sort of thing. So it just covers that. And then you know, you have to have a sponsor to become a member. And once you get a sponsor, we expect you to take a cruise with us just to make sure we can help you and you know how to operate a boat. You're not, you know, doing things that are illegal while out on the water. We definitely discourage drinking and boating. It's something that we're really about safety. When we leave the dock, we want everybody to come back.
When you talk about getting people indoctrinated into safety, do you have, because I remember I had a pontoon boat for like 3 years and was really diligent about the legal so that we could have fun, because once you're legal and safe, you can relax a little and have fun on the water. I went to a boating course, and I'm not remembering who offered that, but it was an all-day deal on Saturday, and then Saturday afternoon you took a little test. It was really not a pass-fail. I guess it kind of was, but you couldn't do anything wrong. It's just it taught you like a red right return for the buoys you know, what side to pass, how to pass, wake zones, all of that kind of things. Does the Baton Rouge Boat Club offer that course?
So we don't, but nowadays with technology, you can go online with Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, and you can take your own course online, and then after you get it, the Wildlife and Fisheries will send you a certification saying that you have taken the boater safety course.
So that's no longer something you have to go to a class and do on like a Saturday?
Not anymore, not anymore. They're still offered if you want to do it in person, especially if you're novice to the boating community and really want to, you know, make sure you're doing things correctly and have your boat checked out, that you have all the safety gear that's on board. You can go and do it in person. If you, same website, Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, there's a schedule on there that says when they're going to have these actual boater safety classes in person.
Man, that's fantastic. And just some of the rules and regs, I'm thinking from memory, it's been a while, but you have to have there's a maximum capacity per boat, depending on the type of boat you have.
Correct.
And you have to have one adult life preserver on board for each adult.
Correct.
You have to have the tossing thing.
The throwable.
The throwable. And if you have any children, you have to have properly sized life jackets for children, right?
Correct, correct.
Those are some of them.
That's some of them. There's a few other things. As a matter of fact, I printed out a list of them right here, so that I brought along with.
Now, is that also available on y'all's website?
It is. It's not, but we do have a link that we can go to Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries.
And then that's, I think, the
Correct. Correct.
link I'm putting up is your website.
Correct. So we're upgrading the website every day, but we can definitely
rattle some of those off for us.
Yeah. So we have, you know, all your registration needs to be on board. Your paperwork. You have to have your whole ID or your registration numbers visible. Like we discussed just a second ago.
1 inch down from the top.
1 inch down, 3-inch letters. Right. Have to have your current registration sticker. A personal flotation device for everyone on board. And as of this year, as a matter of fact, if your vessel is under 26 feet long, you're now required to wear a kill switch at all times while the boat is under power.
So now those are usually on a lanyard, and you would just keep your lanyard on your wrist or wherever it goes on.
Correct, connected to you.
Tell people what a kill switch is and why this is important.
So things happen really fast on the water, and I mean, it can be very dangerous. As a matter of fact, I saw a video from this past weekend in Fort Lauderdale where someone was trying to tie up to another boat. He accidentally hit the throttle. It threw him out of the boat. The boat ended up hitting 2 other boats. It was unmanned at that time and then ran ashore. So it can be very dangerous. If he would have had his kill switch on, when he fell, it would have shut the boat off. And that's the whole thing. A boat with no power is a lot less dangerous than when one's wide open.
Man. And then there's the personal watercraft, the little
the jet skis
and things like that. They also have a kill switch. You have to wear those anyway.
Anyway, yeah, those are required at all times because, you know, people fall off of jet skis. It's very easy to do so, sometimes on purpose, and you don't want to have to swim after a jet ski, and they don't stop. When they're under power, they just keep going until they run out of gas or hit something.
Some of the most fun I had was out on the Tickfall years ago, and on that jet ski, a tight right, left turn, and you just went in circles until it threw you off.
Oh, it's a blast.
And then the jet ski stops, and you swim back to it. But it only stops because you have the kill switch.
Correct. And that's the purpose now. Like I said, it was just went into effect this year that it's now a law. If you're under 26 feet, you have to wear your kill switch at all times.
I was doing some reading for our visit today, and it said in 2020, during the pandemic, boat sales reached a 13-year high. How did the pandemic, did it cause that?
I think it did, me personally, because, you know, people weren't traveling, and they needed to get outdoors with their family, and this was a good activity, a good family activity, is let's pile on the boat. And being a former boat owner yourself, you know how much fun it can be to spend the day out on the water. And I think that's why it's the pandemic really helped the boating industry.
What else did I read here? Higher number of people looking to get outside and enjoy recreational activities. And like you said, a lot of this was partly due, if not a lot due to COVID. People wanting to get outside, away from people, and things like that. And thus the need to really acclimate yourself with this online course.
Absolutely, because you don't need a driver's license to drive a boat. You don't, it's not like the safety course, if you're born after 1984, you're required to take the safety course. But if you're born prior to 1984 and you've never owned a boat before, you can go buy one, go to the boat launch, and take off without knowing a thing about boating, which is pretty scary.
Is there a minimum age?
It's 16 years of age to operate.
To operate,
correct.
Because I can promise you there's some kids younger than 16 behind the wheel of boats that I've seen.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it's not a good thing, but at the same time, I think some of these kids have been trained properly and raised on boats, and can drive a boat better than the most seasoned professional.
Yep, there's a 14, 15-year-old that I know or knew growing up that could, I felt safer than an adult. Because of his knowledge. And like you said, I mean, all of us as kids, I mean, we drive sitting on Dad's lap, and then he'll let us drive to the Circle K and back from the house with him in the car.
Right.
But we sitting in the driver's seat,
Right.
without him on the lap. I mean, that's how you learn. And,
That's right. That's right.
Go out to Lamar Dixon, you can drive around. It's hard to go out to Lamar Dixon and drive a boat. But
That's a little tough. That's a little tough.
I have some pictures of some boats here. There's many types of boats, and one of them is restricted in number, I think. This is a kind of like a fishing boat or a bass boat.
That's a bass boat. It's probably one of the most popular boats around, as much as fishing and the sportsman's paradise that we live in. A lot of bass fishermen out there.
So this is not obviously not a family boat, but this would be what, for 2 people, 4
Yeah,
people?
you could, depending on the length of it,
Right.
you can get 2 to 4 people on some of those bass boats.
And you're going to see on some of our pictures, you're going to see today some of the name brands. We're not endorsing any type of name brand or anything like that on the program today. We're just showing you some different types of boats, especially if you're getting into boating. And then Brian will tell us a good time to buy a boat. So then we move along to what would be more of a family boat, I guess.
Correct. This is your standard open bow runabout. This is, depending on the size of it. And like we said earlier, it tells you the capacity of the boat, which is rated by the U.S. Coast Guard. So, last thing you want to do is overload a boat as well. You will lose horsepower, lose speed, and could be put in a dangerous situation.
We've seen that too.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll move along from that one. This is also kind of a family boat. And you and I were talking earlier, I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning, about the old pontoon boats. And of course mine had I think an Evinrude 60 on it, but it didn't really get up and go very fast. But you said pontoon boats can be fast.
They can be very fast. They've come a long way. Now they're putting twin engines on pontoon boats now that are reaching speeds of excess of 70 miles an hour. And I tell you what, it's pretty fun when you're on a pontoon boat and you're passing somebody in one of these go-fast boats and just kind of wave to them as you go by. But that's a really good, family boat. They're very smooth. They're easy to drive. As far as pulling into a dock, you just pull straight in. You don't have to worry about backing in or, coming in sideways. It's just an easy boat to operate.
Now this particular one we're looking at has the 2 full-length pontoons and then the pontoon in the center. Is the center pontoon a requirement for higher speeds, or just helps it plane up?
It is not. It just makes it more stable. Nowadays it went from the pontoons, now they're tri-toons. It's just more stability and handles better.
I got you. And so we'll move along from that to these. Now, I've always looked at these as kind of racing boats.
They're not anymore. They've come a long way, and they are in the, consumer market now, to where you don't have to be a racer or a qualified racer. There's a lot of boats like this in the area, and some of them hit speeds up to 200 miles an hour, believe it or not. So it's something that a lot of times they call these poker run boats, and there's a lot of poker runs around the United States, and these guys travel from poker run to poker run during the summertime, and they enjoy getting together and going as fast as they can.
Those are some nice boats. And
they're beautiful.
Yeah, indoor versus outdoor motor.
Inboard versus
or versus outboard.
It's a preference for the person that's driving the boat. It's a personal preference. Outboard motors are much easier to work on, easier to access versus climbing down into an engine compartment. A lot of boat manufacturers now are going to the outboard motors because of, they're a lot easier to maintain.
How important is it to, with the waterways we have around here, which is not the clear Bahamas, sea down 20 feet, to get your boat out of water and circulate the clear, clean water through it?
It's important. It definitely, maintenance on the boat is everything. If you don't maintain a boat, it becomes very expensive. And, once you're in the boating community, everybody knows what boat stands for. It's bust out another $1,000. So every time something goes wrong, it's $1,000.
I was one of these greenies back in the day several years ago when I bought my pontoon, and my brothers in Texas are huge outdoor. I love wild game of any kind. I don't hunt. Don't care to hunt. They drug me out in the swamp and 40, 35 degree misty weather one time to duck hunt. I just couldn't care less for it. But I love wild duck, love wild game. So they've been out and about their whole life. And I called my brother, my little brother in Beaumont. I said, give me some advice. I'm about to buy a boat. And he goes, best 2 days of my life.
When you bought a boat, when you sold the boat.
He said that's exactly what he said.
He didn't have the right boat though.
And he always is on the boat. I don't know what he's talking about with that. Then we have these big outdoor, these offshore type deals, and those are usually, you told me the other day, center consoles usually.
Center consoles, a lot of them, use these to go deep sea fishing, but nowadays they make these boats just as pleasure boats, just to cruise around and go fast. So, they're putting 4 or 5, and in some cases 6 outboard engines on the back of these boats and generating, 3,000 horsepower. So it's pretty incredible.
That is wild. When's the best time? I've never been, ever in my life, and I've always wanted to go. When's the best time to go deep sea fishing? Somebody told me the cooler weather, like in August not August, I beg your pardon, it's October or November.
I guess it depends on the season. I'm not a big fisherman, so I'm not really the expert, but I know right now in the last month or so, there's been a lot of billfish tournaments around the Gulf Coast. So now must be a good time to go after the large, big game fish.
I've always heard that, because I go on cruises 2 or 3 a year, and I've always heard that if you don't get seasick on a cruise ship, that doesn't mean you're not going to get seasick on one of these out in offshore.
Absolutely. I mean, it can, you're talking a huge cruise ship versus a smaller 40, 50-foot boat. The waves are going to react a little different. The boat will react a lot different in those waves than a cruise ship will.
How far have you been out?
I've been out 40 miles is the furthest I've been out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, it's not.
Now, when you go deep sea fishing, how offshore do you go?
Some guys go 100, 200 miles offshore. It really depends on what you're going for and, what kind of fish you're going after.
Up in the Chandelier Islands, Venice, Cocodrie, those areas are great places to go out of.
They are, and I think there's a lot of charter services that run out of those places, and you can do overnight charters and, same-day charters. But it really, I guess it's the type of fish you're going after. So
we go from that, and then we get into some of these yachts. And these mega yachts.
That's a game changer right there.
Somebody called them, what is it, a cabin cruiser? It's more than a cabin.
Yeah, that's not a cabin. That's a super yacht. That's a huge boat. You're talking probably 200 to 300 feet right there.
I know that Captain Sandy, that we'll be talking to hopefully in a little while, this is the one that she's currently on, 180-foot mega yacht called Lady Michelle. In fact, it's for sale. Would you dare to guess?
How many millions?
19.5.
What a bargain.
That's incredulous. But I didn't put a lot of the pictures. I don't have a lot of room here on the disc, but I didn't put a lot of pictures of the inside of that boat. But it's got a boat on a boat.
Oh yeah, they have their own tenders, and there's a crew that operates that boat. That's not a family boat for sure. You have to hire a crew to operate that one.
In fact, Coach Sandy was talking, I keep saying coach, I watch Jock Talk. Jock Talk comes on every Wednesday at 1 o'clock right here. All things sports. If you haven't, I don't miss one of his shows. If you haven't seen it, watch it tomorrow, 1 o'clock every Wednesday, right here on WAFB Plus. If you're watching us on Facebook or watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure you follow us on YouTube so that we can subscribe to us on YouTube so we can make sure to let you know when we're on and things like that. You said you're not a fisherman, so you're just a pleasure boat person?
I'm just a pleasure boat.
Party and have fun.
That's it. I'm just a pleasure boat. I like to ride. I like to go see new places. I like driving through the swamp. I also have jet skis myself for wave runners.
Oh, wow.
So I enjoy taking a ride through the swamp down here in Louisiana. It's a blast. See a lot of wildlife that you can't get to by normal boats, but it's a lot of fun. I just enjoy being on the water.
Somebody I saw where there was, I keep looking up here because I'm watching the Zoom feed for Captain Sandy. Down the Atchafalaya Basin, right when you get off at Henderson, take the Henderson exit, go like you're going to Pat's of Henderson, and go down the levee there, and there are a couple of places on the levee that rent these houseboats, 2, 3, and 4 room houseboats, and they're nothing fancy, but they drag you out into the middle of Atchafalaya, and you put a little motored flatboat there, and you can spend the weekend in the Atchafalaya Basin on a houseboat.
Wow.
And just go, if you need to leave, get provisions and go back in the little boat. But that would be so cool.
I bet it would. Of course, not in mosquito season.
No. Have you ever slept overnight on a boat?
I have. I've slept overnight on the boat. It's it's definitely different. You can feel every little motion of the water that comes by.
1 second, folks. Yes, hello.
Hi guys, Neo Control here, just calling to confirm our interview that's coming up for 25.
Yes, we're waiting on Captain Sandy.
Perfect. Who are we talking to today?
And it should be open now. So whenever she pops in, we'll just grab her
We're
and
just
go.
going to be wrapping up the station ahead of you. I'd like to just update her before we get to you guys.
Yeah, just tell her she'll be talking to Johnny, and it's WAFB in Baton Rouge.
Yes. Who, Johnny? For how long is the segment?
As long as she wants. I'd like to talk to her about Below Deck as well as the.
Yeah, we're really tight on time, so whatever you could fit in 4 minutes.
Okay, we'll try to be cognizant of that and share her with our viewers.
Okay, perfect. And the air date will be?
We're actually live. We're going to do it live.
Oh Jesus.
And then it'll be rebroadcast on all of our social platforms as well.
Okay,
We have
how long until we go?
we're just going to take her live whenever she pops up on the screen.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
No problem. No worries. Take your
That's fine. I'll
time.
keep you online here.
Take your time. And we will see you then.
No, let's keep you online.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I'm going to continue talking to my guest, Brian.
That's fine.
Live TV.
Oh, hey.
See, this is something we can do on our social platform we can't do on TV. So this is fantastic. So that's the control room in New York calling to verify that Captain Sandy is on her way. So we'll have her on here in the Zoom in just a minute. What you watch Below Deck?
I do watch it every Monday night.
Monday night at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central, Bravo, and it's season 6. We've had 2 episodes right now, I think, of season 6 already. When you watch that as a boater, as a seasoned boater, what are some of the things that come to mind? Would you ever want to tackle something that large? I mean, if money were no object?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you hire somebody to run it?
Probably so.
Guys, we're ready to go when you are.
All right, fire up the Zoom and we'll put her on. Let's see if we can do this live. This is a
Got a storm.
I beg your pardon? This is kind of a first because we have.
It's waiting for you to start the Zoom, guys. We're waiting for you.
All righty, let's see what we can do.
Oh, no,
Stan.
hold on.
Should be
Hold on,
there.
we have a new-
Yeah, we don't have a waiting room or anything. Just come on with us.
Yeah, we're coming in now.
All right, let's see what we got here. Well,
Uh-oh.
let's see. I don't see her yet.
No, we're doing it. 836.
Yep, right now. Here we go. New York studio. Captain
Hey.
Sandy, can you hear us? There's Captain Sandy, everybody. Good to talk to you. Thank you for giving up some time today. We appreciate.
With you.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see if we can. There we go. We're glad you're here. Well, you performed
I'm glad to be here.
you performed a wedding last night.
I know, it was awesome. Like, I was very nervous, my first one, but I loved doing it.
Wow, you seem to have you seem to be having some challenges right now with keeping chefs. What's is that part of the pandemic issue or?
You know, honestly, I think it's, you know, my Achilles heel. It used to be the anchor. That seems to be good now, and now it's the chef. Anyway, just stay tuned because you'll keep watching, you'll find out what happens.
Well, I have the bullet points to kind of visit with you about with regard to boating safety and things like that. But I got to tell you, though, I'm excited to talk to you about below deck. So when you have to run, just flag me off. Can we do that a little bit? Talk about the show?
Well, not really.
I know you can't
if I
tell
do,
me about.
Bravo really has to be involved. You know, that little bit of banter, it's fine, but
Gotcha.
stay in my lanes.
Stay in your lane, Captain Sandy. What are some of the most common boating blunders that you see every year?
Unpreparedness, you know, honestly, like, am I being filmed? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
you're on. You're good to go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay,
No apologies.
Okay, a lot of the mistakes happen because people were unprepared. They're not thinking. They think they're the only ones on the water. They're excited to get off the dock, and they didn't think about, do I have enough life jackets? Is my fire extinguisher inspected? Do I have enough water on board for everyone? And sunblock, you know, that's important. Don't get dehydrated. Stay hydrated. You know, sunblock. The other thing is, learn your boat. Know where everything is. Learn how to come on and off the dock. Just like parallel parking, we learned driving a car. We had to practice until we got our driver's license. Do the same thing on a boat.
Some tips to keep in mind while on the boat. We've been talking before you got on the air about the life preservers and the different things like that. Anything else you can lend us in terms of your experience over the years?
Yes, you know, the tips are pay attention. There are other people around you boating, water skiing, you know, they're on wave runners. Always think that they're not paying attention to you. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to all those people not watching you. And the person that you're towing, you want to make sure that there's always eyes on that person. And if someone's approaching them, you want to wave, make noise, always keep a pointer on them. Hey, listen, I grew up boating. I grew up water skiing on, you know, water toys. And we were always taught that before we got on a boat. My family were very engaged in safety, and that was always drilled into us. So I encourage you to watch the weather as well, because wild weather comes up out of nowhere. You know, according to travelers, wild weather and windstorms, it's like 16% of the damage comes from that. You want to pay attention to what's in front of you when you're driving ahead, submerged objects. Like, those things could end your day.
Well, like we've seen on below deck, that weather can happen just instantaneously out of nowhere.
Yes, that's correct. And it happens when I'm on the boat. You know, like when I'm out there on a super yacht, I'm looking at all my weather apps. I'm paying attention to the weather, and I always have an escape plan. A weather preparedness plan is important. Wow. And, you know, for more tips, you could go to travelers.com/boat, and you can get a lot of those safety tips there.
Travelers.com/boat. And we saw some great video just a second ago. They can put that up if they want again. So fantastic visiting with you. I know you're tight on time and things like that. We watch you every Monday night, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central. And we're really enjoying season 6 and would love to visit with you more about that, but we're going to respect that for you. Captain Sandy Yawn, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you. You know, and you could go through Bravo for that.
We will definitely do that, because I'd like to have you on at some point just to talk about the show.
Yeah, just reach out to Bravo PR.
Fantastic. Sandy Yawn, you're amazing. We'll see you Monday night. Take care. You're very welcome. Good to talk to you. Awesome. Wow.
You too.
Gosh, you couldn't hear her, but she was talking about a lot of different things that you covered, as a matter of fact. She wouldn't really get into a lot of the below deck Mediterranean, because she was really for the website that they have, travelers.com, which is an insurance company.
Right.
But they do have boating information on that as well. But she was also talking about Last night she performed her very, very first wedding
Oh, really?
ever as a captain, and she's
Wow.
been captain for years. She's from Fort Lauderdale, decades of yachting experience under her belt. One of the most respected captains in the industry. Brian and I were showing you a few minutes ago her current boat, which is just absolutely gorgeous. It's a 180-foot mega yacht called Lady Michelle, and she had a challenge with that thing the other night, parking that thing. It was she did it wonderfully well, but her visibility was a little obstructed, so it was hard for her to see some of the things that she was trying to avoid.
And it's for sale for 19?
I think they said 19.5 million. That seems high to me.
Nah,
$19 million?
Not for a super yacht.
That just seems outrageous to me when you can buy a home in my little novel neighborhood for $1 million, you know? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Man, have you ever thought about just selling everything and living on the water?
well, I already live on the water.
Well, I'm talking
but,
about on a boat.
No, I don't think I could live on a boat full time. I still have to have land underneath me, but it sounds like an adventure, you know. Just to do it for a week at a time would be pretty cool.
Oh my God, I don't know. Sometimes I see these shows about these kids that live on the water and hurricanes come and they just move their house down the road, down the beach, and then come back. But you were talking about travelers.com, and I don't mind mentioning that. It's not an endorsement for an insurance company, but that was one of the ways we were able to get Captain Sandy on. What about the insurance for a boat? We have to have all of the liability, comprehensive collision on a car. What are the requirements on insuring a boat?
You know,
Is that more personal?
it is more
It's not
personal.
A law?
It's not a law. It is more personal. I mean, you'd be crazy not to have insurance on a boat. You know, it's a big investment. You know, most boats are a lot more expensive than cars, so it's a huge investment. So you would definitely want to have insurance on a boat.
When's the best time to buy a boat, and you're new or used?
So I prefer used, especially because you can tend to find a really good deal. If you're going to buy a boat, best time to buy is either at a boat show. You know, a lot of the manufacturers and dealers lower their prices for boat shows. But if not, winter is always the best time down here to buy a boat because people aren't going to use it for several months, or they may not have used it much the year before. So they say, hey,
So November, December, January?
Yeah, that's usually a good time. October's a good time to start looking. A lot of the boat shows take place, you know, October, November, and then early in the year as well. So, you know, it's definitely, I would recommend going to a boat show. You can look at all the different styles of boats, figure out what you like, figure out your budget, and kind of go from there.
What can the Baton Rouge Boat Club help us with people that are, can they be a network for people that are not really, you don't really get into that, or to help us find people that are trying to sell their boat?
No, we don't really get into that. There's, you know, so many websites out there, Boat Trader, Yacht Trader, that sort of thing that, you
I'm
know.
gonna be coming to you. I'm getting one. I'm getting one in the fall. I'm not going through another spring and summer without a boat.
Hey, I might have one for sale for you, so.
Yeah, yours are all nice, a little more than I can afford. Mine would be the little pontoon we saw a few minutes ago. But I was thinking about the different kind of boats, though. But there's definitely, I was looking at one like this. I've always thought about pontooning, but one like that, I mean, you know, maybe a little, I don't know, that looks like that could be a family boat. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
8 people, 7 people?
Looking
One,
at that,
two,
probably 6. That'd probably be
3,
6
4,
people
5,
tops.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, just because there's a seat on the boat doesn't mean, you know, there's a person that goes in every seat on the boat.
That's true. What else you want to leave us with? I'm really taking up your time, and you gotta go get us a sponsor for Asian Nation.
That's right. I gotta go back upstairs and start
you gotta
selling
start working
again.
on that. Any thoughts about that? Any thoughts about below deck? Anything like that?
I mean, you know, I think for us, if you're interested in becoming a member of the Baton Rouge Boat Club, you can go to our website and download the membership form. It has a contact us tab on the website that if you want more information, send us an email. You know, we're always looking for new members, and I think if you do become a member, you'd really enjoy it, meet a lot of great people, and learn a lot about boating.
When's your next meeting?
Our next meeting is actually tonight,
Okay.
but it's usually the second Tuesday of the month.
Where is tonight's meeting, or do you want to put that out there?
Well, tonight is our shrimp boil meeting, so
Oh, well, we'll keep that between you and me.
we'll keep that one private.
Let's just keep that between you and me. Is it usually on the water somewhere on a boat, or just?
It's at a restaurant that is located
Water
on the water.
accessible.
Exactly.
Fantastic. You've been a fantastic guest, man.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Oh my gosh! Holy cow! That makes me want to go in the water right now. Maybe
let's
not.
go.
It's kind of wet today. Brian, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss you. I want to do a little traffic
All
blip
right.
here. We've been talking about this all morning. I-10 westbound in Lafayette is still temporarily closed, but it looks like they're slowly starting to finish the cleanup operation. It was a crash with injuries, but it was not a fatality. It was not a hazmat situation. You can see them spraying down some road, a little diesel spill, but it wasn't considered necessary to bring hazmat in there, so fire department's out there. Again, this is I-10 westbound right past Henderson, and we've had 7 wrecks there, right there, in the last 45 days. So that's kind of a little hot spot right there. If you guys are heading toward the Lafayette area, you're still being forced off the interstate at LA 415 over to 190, and that normally is about a 70-minute drive through Opelousas. You're looking at about an hour and a half right now going to Lafayette based on that. But if you can delay your trip a little bit, that looks like they're getting kind of close. So kind of hang tight for a little while longer, and of course we'll have it all on our social platform. Thank you for joining us for Ahysen Nation today. We have enjoyed the show. We've talked to some great folks, and definitely get more information about the Baton Rouge Boat Club. Go to their website. They also have a Facebook page with some information on it as well. And enjoy safe boating for the rest of the summer. And we'll be back with you tomorrow on 9 News This Morning right here on WAFB. Take care. See you later.